big question as well is, where are Paolini's fitness levels at the moment? Because she pulled out of Adelaide, cited that as some tiredness from the United Cup. Well, some big hitting already.
You can see Wei already hugging the baseline really hard. It's a very generic way that a lot of the players from China play. They grow up on a very fast, hard court surface, so being able to hold the baseline is key.
This year is the first time that 8 players from China are in the starting field of the women's draw at the Australian Open. Must be doing something right.
Out. 15-14.
And that's the key, isn't it? First serves, get yourself in the point. Especially in these early games. Well, the 4th seed gets the first blow.
First game.
A break of serve. And that'll dust off the cobwebs for Paolini.
There's definitely no better start as a seeded player than getting an early break, just really stamping your authority on the match. And that's something that Paolini has done so well. It's because she can make so many balls back in play. We've seen her be able to amp up the power, but her stock standard style of game is really just hunkering down at the baseline, making her opponents feel the pressure and feel suffocated because she's making so many balls back in play. You think, man, what do I have to do to get a ball past her at some point, which makes you go closer to the lines, deeper into the corners, and that only creates a lot more unforced errors.
Oh, the return of serve, too hot to handle.
Led for service. Out. 15-all.
A bit of a miscue there by Wei. She's got to get some rhythm out here, and a drop shot's not going to help that. She's got to get into some baseline exchanges.
That's better. Set up the point nicely with a well-struck return of serve. This is how she likes to play, isn't it? Always moving forwards, looking to approach the net with that momentum going through the ball.
Very much better hitting there by Wei. She's getting, like you just said, Pippa, getting her momentum going forward on the ball, but it's more so her base is just more solid. She's not reaching anywhere. She's very stable, and when she's making her strike on it, that's a big key when you're trying to get some power off of your shots.
Consistency of Paolini, just so relentless. I mean, she could stay out here all day, couldn't she, Paolini? This is her bread and butter.
And she pretty much wants to. She plays singles and doubles at every Grand Slam event. She plays with Sarah Irani most of the time, who she won the Olympic gold with. I mean, there's such a thing as some players that love to play. They love to be out there in the atmosphere of it all. And some players, on the other hand, love to be on the practice court and train and get those reps in. It just really depends on how you get your feel.
It's a stunning shot from Paolini.
Advantage Paolini.
And there was Renzo Furlan, the coach, on the left. One way to get yourself out of trouble and to save a break point there was made to work. Well, she came through. So which category were you in then, Coco?
Pippa, you're putting me on a spot that I don't necessarily want to live at, but I am happy to throw myself under the bus. I was more of the player sort. I hated practice, and I say with a capital H. I did not like it. I was not one that enjoyed the hours and the reps. I wanted to play. I wanted to compete. You know, I think at the end of the day, I was a competitor. And that's why I usually played at a Grand Slam. Singles, doubles, and mixed doubles, because then you can't get your coach to pull you out onto a practice court. So, you know, you have too many matches out there.
It's a good strategy. It's very similar to Ostapenko. I remember chatting to her, and she was saying exactly the same thing. She'd much rather play doubles, be it mixed or women's doubles, than get back on the practice court.
It's a tough position also for Wei. She's coming out here, and as much as I've said that she's had these 3 matches already. When you play against a high-seeded player and a top tenor, everything just happens a lot quicker. You know, you remember your first time coming out there and facing one of those top tenors, and you just like think, man, the first set's gone. How'd that happen? It felt like 2 seconds. You hardly remember the shots that happened or how you were constructing points. You just almost forget about the whole game of tennis.
Well, as you say, it's a lot of firsts, this match for Wei. It's her first time, as you mentioned, playing someone ranked inside the world's top 10. It's her first time playing a main draw Grand Slam, and it's her first time playing on Margaret Court Arena.
And that's why the first few games are so important for a lower ranked player, to feel like you're getting into the swing of things, to feel like you do have some sort of control of this match. And Wei has been very close, but hasn't been able to get over the line.
Deuce.
And also, for the other hand, for Paolini, she wants to suffocate Wei. She wants to make Wei feel like she doesn't belong out here. As mean as that sounds, that's kind of the tenacity you have as a top seed, because it just makes things run a little bit smoother, a little bit easier out there. So Paolini's working very hard to get this second break. And to me, that's a perfect example of Paolini getting that extra ball back. Wei in complete control inside the baseline, constantly moving forward after the shot, getting her weight and momentum inside the court, but Paolini just being tough as nails.
The trademark variety of Paolini.
Advantage waiting.
Work on this occasion. Player with so much versatility to her game, so many tools in her toolbox. Is it that hard to see on Margaret Court Arena? Not sure we need binoculars. Unforced errors coming in thick and fast at the moment. Just not going to get anything in the way of errors from Paolini. That's something you can guarantee. Another unsuccessful drop shot attempt brings about break point number 3. It's 2 breaks in a row. And it's a comfortable 3-love lead for the world number 4. She's very much asserting her authority. Well, this is almost a dream start, isn't it, for Paolini? Coming into this match after pulling out of Adelaide. Many excited fans, and it's very much filling up this arena because we have a fantastic matchup later as well. Andrei Rublev faces João Fonseca. That's going to be a good one. So 3 games on the clock, and Paolini very much in the driver's seat at the moment. Nicely done.
15-all.
To me, that's always going to be a problem point for Jasmine Paolini is the second serve. It's just sometimes there's not much left to gain in that. She's not the tallest of players, and you can only change this tension or the way of the string just to get one shot. I don't think is worth it. This way crushes another second serve return. To me, it's more about just changing the placement, just changing the spins, the looks, just making sure the toss is disguised enough. And I think that will help Jasmine Paolini to be able to get at least neutral, if not be able to defend her second serve.
Well, it's only the 3rd unforced error we've seen so far from Paolini. Trademark element of her game is her consistency. And even Paolini, one of the most athletic players in the game, wasn't able to get a racket on that one.
And there is a saying, better lucky than good. And this let court is one of those cases. To me, Pippa, that was far better disguise on the serve. The toss going well behind Paolini's head, and she's still taking it tee. Usually you think when a ball goes behind a player's head, that's going to go out wide, more of a topspin serve.
Out. Advantage Paolini.
Well, it's 4 games on the trot for the world number 4, growing in confidence as this match progresses.
Paolini leads by 4 games to 0.
And look, when we talk about Paolini and her development and progression over the years, obviously there's been a very, very quick trajectory in terms of her ranking over the last year or so, but what element of her game do you think she's improved the most?
I think just general power from the baseline. I think she's able to move and hit on the run with a bit more power. And I think that helps her when she's playing the bigger hitters to be able to change defense into offense, if not just neutral. And I think we saw that happen in her run to Wimbledon. She had never won a grass court match up until making the finals of Wimbledon. That's almost the craziest stat I've ever heard.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? When I heard that stat, I almost just didn't believe it.
To me, I'm thinking all those women that face Paolini saying, well, you've never won a grass court match, like, and you're going to beat me, a grass court specialist, especially if I'm Donna Vekic. I'm thinking, come on, I'm supposed to smoke you off the court. I certainly felt the same when I was facing a clay court specialist and going out there. I was like, well, you know, it's going to be an early flight home for me coming out of Roland Garros. Thank you very much.
And that run at Wimbledon was absolutely incredible. No one expected it. Defeated Ceribes, Tormo, Minen, Andrescu, Madison Keys, Navarro. Oh my goodness.
And that's the shot I'm talking about, Pippa, of how she's able to turn defense into offense, which was just a straight winner. She was on the dead stretch past the end of the doubles alley and still able to hit a clean winner. Just seeing an angle that's there, having the balance, having the idea to be able to execute that shot.
15-14. Cain, Paolini.
Well, very much turning the dial now is Paolini.
Paolini leads by 5 games to 0.
24 minutes on the clock. And she's the one dictating this match.
Time.
Well, we saw a glimpse of Sara Irani, who's come to watch her doubles partner, no doubt, and they've had so much success together. There she is again, an Olympic gold medal.
I really do think it was a great move by Paolini to play a lot more doubles, especially with an accomplished singles player like Sara Irani. You know, I thought that was always helpful when I was looking for doubles partners. The player might be past their prime, but they can give you insight and different feelings that they have gone through or experiences, and just kind of give you a little bit of a cheat code, a head start into, okay, well, this is what I experienced, so let me give you my insight, and then you don't have to go through the lumps and the bumps that I had to go through.
Oh, she had exactly the shot that she wanted. Just got to expect every single ball to come back when you're facing Jasmine Paolini. So still another opportunity to close out this opening set. Even if she's not able to take this first set away, it's still important that she gets on the board. It's going to do wonders for her confidence.
Advantage Paolini.
Do we count that as double skills of Paolini?
I think so. She's just so comfortable in that front section of the court.
Game number 7.
Oh, what a way to close out the first set. Blink and you miss it type of tennis from Jasmine Paolini.
40 love.
Well, there it is. She is on the board. It took her 7 games to do so. But she strides ahead in this second set. What is that going to do, Coco, to her game, to her confidence? Is she going to feel a whole lot looser now?
You would hope so. You would hope so, because she's definitely been getting bullied around the court by Paolini, and her game has not really shown what it's taken her to get through the 3 rounds of qualifying. So maybe the one game will settle her down, and that's what she's been looking for all first set long, is just to get her feet underneath herself. And now for Wei, it's time to build on that. Let's start making returns. Just even if it's simplicity of going bang up the middle, that's all you need to do. Just start to feel comfortable. Find some sort of normalcy out here.
Nicely struck, well inside of that baseline, the backhand wing. Could this be a shift in momentum now? She did have some good wins in qualifying, Wei. Her final match was an absolute thriller, 7-6 in the third against Nina Stojanovic of Serbia, and she won that tiebreak 11-9 in the third set. It was a 3-setter in the first round as well against Alexandra Sasnovich. Much more comfortable win in the second against Tamara Korpach. Well, 2 break point opportunities now. A wild one.
Advantage Paolini.
And Paolini registered a scoreline of 6-love for only the 3rd time in her career, after managing it twice at Roland Garros in 2024, so she can add today to her collection. Nicely done. And the contrast of the heavy pace on the return of serve. Paolini wasn't expecting the drop shot. And that is what happens when you drop the ball short against the world number 4.
You can just see Paolini knuckle down, really get low on this backhand to be able to really execute how she wanted the shot to develop. I think that's a cue for Wei. Paolini's forehand is not feeling as comfortable because Paolini ran around the forehand and hit a backhand from the middle of the court. But again, it's a second serve. It's getting pretty attackable. It always has been, but it just doesn't have much movement on it. It's just middle of the box into the backhand wing of Wei, and Wei's backhand is far better than her forehand. Yeah, I'd love to see Paolini try and take a second serve. If you're not going to be able to move it, go body to some extent. Make Wei make the decision one way or the other to hit a forehand or a backhand.
It's almost as if she heard you.
Pippa, I didn't tell you, I put an earpiece with Paolini. And my Italian is even better than my English.
Paolini caught out, serving to the backhand of Wei. In a sense, that's a pattern that she hasn't quite picked up on yet.
Advantage Paolini. Deuce. Advantage Paolini.
Just a slight lapse in judgment there, but undoubtedly this second set far more competitive than the first. In fact, we're almost at half the duration of that first set, and we've not even played 2 games yet. Brilliant. And regardless of the outcome of this match, it's going to be a huge learning curve for Wei. And she's going to be taking a long, hard look at the
Advantage Paolini.
analytics and just seeing how her game matches up against the world number 4. What improvements does she need to make?
Cain Paolini.
Well, not without a bit of a challenge there, which is a positive step for Wei Sijia.
1 game.
Put up much more of a fight in these past couple of games than she did in the first set. It's those opportunities, isn't it? Those 2 break points. You need to capitalize on the opportunities when you get them.
Out. 15. Out. 30 long. Out. 40 long. Out. 40, 15. Left for service.
Nicely struck.
40, 30.
And that forehand can be so dangerous when she has time on the ball.
Yeah, it's all predicated on the movement of Paolini, how quickly she can change direction, get up to those balls.
Cain Wei.
And just about hit the line. She'll take it.
Wei
Capitalizing on perhaps a minor concentration lapse from Paolini. But she has a slight advantage in the second set, 2-1.
While we take a break, let us inspire your next adventure. Fly with us in comfort to London, Edinburgh, Athens or Rome, Paris or Dublin, and over 40 cities across Europe. But remember, it's not just the destination, it's also how you get there. Fly Emirates, fly better.
Time.
second set is turning into a bit of a cat and mouse situation at the moment. Certainly, Wei is picking up her standard. Feeling a little looser on the court, it seems.
15.
We always remember our first time on a big stadium and Wei's going through the ebbs and flows of it. A tough first set of going against a high seed. You know, really getting thrown to the wolves in a way, and now she's getting her teeth into this second set.
Well, that's, I think, what was so impressive about the rise of Paolini. She thrust herself into so many firsts, and she dealt with them with such ease.
I'll say the doubles really helped that. She had all these experiences with Sara Errani being in Grand Slam finals well before singles. And I think any young player can really take some interest in that, and maybe even take a page out of Paolini's book. And as we see Sara Errani again, that's a great way to go through those first experiences on big stadiums before you get there on the singles court. So then when you do get there, by the time you're ranked high enough or playing a big enough match in singles, you've been there, done that before.
And it's a great way to get your fitness levels up as well. And think about the run that Paolini had at Roland Garros last year, and she also made the finals in the doubles event. I mean, a lot of players, I think, would have pulled out of the doubles.
Sometimes some players stick to their word. I was one of those players that if I signed up for something, I was going to stick to the bitter end, and whether or not it was a sacrifice in some other way, shape, or form. But you know, I'm a big fan of the character of Paolini for sticking to her word.
Yeah, got to respect it, haven't you? That's winner number 11 of the match for Wei Sijia.
Well, this is a big moment for Jasmine Paolini. You know, you smell a little blood in the water, post double fault, 2 games all. Okay, let's get back to work. Let's lock in mentally here. Put the pressure back on Wei. Oh. Jasmine Paolini couldn't have been more all over that backhand, reading Wei on her swing volley.
She's such a fantastic mover, isn't she, Paolini? But how much of that is athleticism and how much of it is reading the game and anticipating?
Also, Pippa, I wish I could move like somebody that is 5'5", 5'6". I could not move like that if I tried. But But yes, you have to do the hard yards in the gym and be able to create power out of stagnant moving. So when you get into your split step, do you have the power in your quads and your glutes and your hamstrings to be able to push out of the corners? That's something that is developed in the gym, but a lot of it's just natural ability.
Well, power is something that Jasmine Paolini possesses in abundance. And there was a fantastic example of that. She gets the first blow in the second set. 3-2. I always find this time of the year so interesting because players have taken a fair chunk of time away from competitive tennis. Typically, this is the time that they work on things in their off-season as well, maybe some technical changes here and there, some tweaks to their game, and also, of course, the physical aspect of things. And then in these first few tournaments of the year, you get to see the fruits of all of that off-season labor. And Paolini, well, she's looking good, but it hasn't been flawless.
You're going to see the utmost professionalism in this next game from Jasmine Paolini, just being so methodical out there after collecting the break in the second set. Well, we talked about the impact that playing all that doubles has had on the game of Paolini, and one thing that we haven't mentioned, Coco, is, well, the Billie Jean King Cup win. That was special. I'm a big fan of playing for your country, that's for sure.
And their doubles together was such a huge component of that victory as well. Many of those matches went to the deciding doubles. Such an experienced pair. And that's ultimately why they were able to lift the trophy. Well, there it is. She very firmly stomps her foot down on the gas. Jasmine Paolini very much in charge here.
what a shot there from Jasmine Paolini. That backhand is not an easy shot to execute. Sticking her left leg out, getting that base. Being able to have the strength in the left arm to redirect the pace of Wei. Deep, getting the unforced air. I would almost classify it as forced air. See where the statisticians put it.
Brilliant point construction and a brilliant finish.
See all the little steps to get into position for Paolini. Execute that overhead.
Have been some snippets of brilliance, haven't there, from Wei, but it's just the consistency, the repeatability is what's important at this level of the game.
And also the late execution of it. It'd be a very different match if Wei was able to keep her nose in the first set, but now Paolini is just far too comfortable in her own game. That's the biggest thing about being a lower ranked player, coming into a Grand Slam for your first time and playing a high seed. It's showing the high seed, okay, I belong, I'm supposed to be here, I've worked hard to be here.
Out. Game win.
And she's giving herself in this second set.
Paolini leads by 4 games to 3.
A few twists in momentum here and there. 4-3 lead for Paolini. There is only one break between these two players. It's not an insurmountable task for Wei Sijia to fight her way back. She very much looks like she's loosened up as this match has progressed. And in doing so, the level of Paolini has probably dropped a little bit in this second set. The unforced error count is higher in this set than it was the first. Just all around under a little bit more pressure is Paolini.
Wei showing a little bit of her own athleticism out here. Paolini coming forward after this forehand. A little bit too deep in the court, but that was still a very good volley. But the athleticism from Wei, able to steal that point. to me, that's the biggest learning curve from a lot of the players ranked below 50 in the world versus the players that are ranked above 50 is you win a good point like that. You got to build momentum. You can't just give a cheap unforced error off of a service return.
It's 2 in a row now.
14-15.
It's almost like you spend too much time admiring the previous shot.
You want extra points for flair. I take it.
Game Paolini.
Well, she breezed through that service game.
Paolini leads by 5 games to
Now finds herself in a very comfortable position here. 1 game away from the second round. The winner of Taylor Townsend or Renata Zarazua awaits. A match still in operation as we speak. And that is, would you say, Coco, an area of Wei's game that needs to be developed, that net play?
Yeah, her ground strokes, her power off the ground, and the way she moves after she hits her ground strokes definitely gives her the ability to move forward. It's all about staying calm, especially with your body movement when you're up and around the net. There's so many coaches that say, don't swing at the ball, you know, and that sort of thing. And to me, it's all taken away when you have the good footwork. You use your body weight momentum and you run through a volley. That sort of feeling happens, and then your racket head stays still. It's your body weight and momentum that creates the power.
And that has been the Achilles heel for Wei Sijia. The accumulation of unforced errors. And this one brings about an opportunity for Paolini to close out this match. Expecting a third net cord after the 2 in a row we saw.
Just hanging on for dear life. Wei is here. Again, we've seen some very good hand skills with the drop shots a time or two. Jasmine Paolini can't believe it.
advantage Wei.
a bit of personality and a few smiles from Wei and her team.
Paolini leads by 5
She
games
clings
to 4.
on by a thread. And now Paolini has an opportunity to close out this match on her own terms, 5-4.
Time.
Well, the hardest thing to do in tennis is close out a match, and that is the challenge that Paolini now faces. Can she get over the line?
That was a big forehand from Wei.
59.
Again, the movement on the serve, it's just not quite enough. That was only one little half step that Wei had to adjust to be able to return this second serve with a lot of authority.
Well, 2 opportunities to close out this match. She's already had 1 chance in the previous game. And it's sealed with a winner. Jasmine Paolini breezes through to the second round of this year's Australian Open in emphatic style. A real gulf in experience on show today, but Paolini was taking no prisoners. She loves it here in Melbourne Park. It was the first Grand Slam in which she reached the second week, and I'm sure she has much bigger goals this year.
Just like 2024, we're into 2025, and that smile is not going anywhere from Jasmine Paolini. Always happy to be out there, back to her winning ways. That was a very clean, straightforward match from her. You know, did what was required, and that is all you have to do when you are the high seed sometimes. You just give what the opponent, you take what the opponent gives you, you come out there, you take care of business and get off the court in just a little over an hour.
She did just that, an hour and 13 minutes. She registered her third 6-love sets in her career. Impressive at times from this young woman, though, only 21 years old. She got through qualifying, clearly had fun out there. She's going to be taking a lot from this match.
Definitely not forgetting to take all the towels. Those things are expensive. I took a look at them today in the shops. Well, it's part of the perks.
We're going to hear from Paolini herself and see what she has to say about that emphatic first round victory.
Well, Jasmine, that was an unbelievable, dominant first set. But you really had to work for it in that second set. How are you feeling after getting that win?
I feel very happy, of course. It's not always easy to play the first round, and she was playing unbelievable. I mean, she was returning so fast sometimes, and I was like, where is the ball? And the ball was already in the ball boy hand. But no, I'm joking, and I didn't know this girl before. I never played there, I never practiced. And she played, I think, a really good tennis, and we will see things soon in top 100 for sure. But, I'm happy with my performance. I had a solid serve today. And, yeah, it's great to be back in Australia. And thank you guys for coming.
You definitely have a lot of fans in here at Margaret Arena. Now, talk to me about last year, because 2024 was absolutely superb for you. That obviously has filled you with the confidence bringing you here to the Australian Open.
Yeah, last year was, unexpected for sure, and was an amazing year. But, it's a new year. I'm happy to be back in Australia. Before the last year, I never won a match in Melbourne. So, yeah, it's, maybe begin everything from the last year. The first match gave me so much confidence, and it's great to be back here in Melbourne. I love the tournament, I love the city, and of course I love the people.
Well, we love watching you play, and maybe 2025 is the year that you have a few more wins here at the Australian Open. Best of luck in the next round.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Ciao, ciao.
Give it up for Jasmine Paolini, everybody.
Oh, she's such a fan favourite, isn't she?